Okay, so after much debate, these are the books that I'm bringing with me to my grandmother's for the 2 months I'll be staying with her before I get my apartment. I might, you know, check in and let you guys know where I'm at with these, how I'm feeling. Some of these are rereads, like for example, Graceling, I read all the way back in like middle school, so I'm gonna reread it. Venus versus Virus, I also read when I was in like elementary school, middle school, so I want to reread it. Um, I want to finish Love Sickness, and I want to finish Haiti, Hetty, Haiti. These two are art books so that I can get, my creativity flowing. This was a book that I got for my birthday from my bestie that I still haven't started. I need to do that. Winnie the Pooh for some easy reads. Um, Hood Feminism because I want to read it. That's it. Defying the Verdict is also something that I want to finish because I started it and didn't finish it. Sigil Witchery and the Modern Witchcraft Grimoire are for like learning purposes. So those are like notation books for me. And like 365 Days of Drawing is just an activity book. Um, so yeah, I'll let you know how I decide to go about doing a reading vlog with these, I guess. Yeah, lit. That's just a place. Okay, rude. My camera cut off. But I was saying this one is just for me to put here so that the books don't fall because my bookshelf is crooked and it's leaning over and the only thing keeping it from falling is the desk that's right next to it. So yeah. That's it, I guess. Hi, I'm still in my dorm. I haven't left yet. I don't leave till the end of the month. But I have been reading the books that I've decided to bring with me, and that book list has indeed changed because I'm an indecisive bitch, and you've given me time to think about my decisions. So I'll show you that when I finalize it, which probably will not be until later. But here are the two books that I'm currently reading. First is Graceling, which I'm gonna give it its own reading log because I love it. I loved it since I was in like middle school, and I am being wonderfully reminded on why I loved it so much, which is amazeballs. Um, Currently in the last third of it. If I were to describe this book, it's awesome fantasy badassery mixed in with good, if not great, communication. I love it. You should read it. I highly recommend this one. Next one I'm reading is Haiti. I do not think I'm gonna finish it, to be fully honest. I'm on page 44, and I've tried to read this book for literal months since I first got it in a bookishly blind box. Yeah, I just don't like it. I find it boring. I I find it boring, and just because I paid for it does not mean I have to be the one to finish reading it. If I don't like it, I don't have to force my way through it. I can just leave it on the free table. My school has a free table, and somebody will grab it. It's why I love the free table, because somebody always grabs stuff from it. So that's what I'm gonna do. But those are the two books that I've gotten from my reading list that I've read so far. Um, in terms of what I added to my reading list, let me show you. Um, I decided last minute that I wanted to keep my art books, which is essentially what I added to my reading list, just art books. So it's Princess Ai, which I think I'm gonna buy the manga for actually, and actually read the manga. when I move into my apartment and have bookshelves to put them on. um, Elemental Spirits is another art book that I have. I bought this when I went back home to New York one time. Another art book. Bayonetta 3 art book. Now, one thing about me is that I fucking love Bayonetta. Like, I adore Bayonetta. I've been obsessed with Bayonetta since I was in elementary school and I first stumbled across her YouTube videos about it. I have studied the lore. I've bought art books. I have the art book for book 2 as well, for game 2. And I'm trying to find the art book for the first game that doesn't cost $500. Because I love Bayonetta. I've done literally everything except play the games. I finally got a chance to buy a game and play it, which is Bayonetta 3 on the Switch, and my Switch stopped working, and I can't afford to buy a new one right now. So, yeah, I'm just gonna have to hold off on playing the game any more than I already have, but I'm excited nonetheless. So 2 more art books. Then, of course, there's the 2 art books. Let me just show all my art books while I'm at it, because I have all of them in my section. This is my other art book. Girls Meet Sweets by Sakazo. And the art of Pasuka Demizu. I also got this one from Kinokuniya, which is where I bought the Spirits books as well. So, yeah, that's all my art books. For now, I fully intend on getting more art books. But back to the pile of books that I added to my reading list for the month I'll be at my grandmother's. Half Human. This is my older sister's copy of this book. I stole it from her. And she doesn't care. I'm pretty sure she doesn't even remember this book, but she's not getting it back. So I brought this one back out because I wanted to read it again. It's like not gross, but it's so obviously aged. I love it. 2 generations this book has seen. Gorgeous. The Secret Language of Trees is another one that I brought out from the storage bags. This one actually has a CD attached to it. I have nothing to play that on right now, but someday. Zoop. And then also for something cute and light to read, because I thought it was cute, The Complete Adventures of Peter Rabbit, because all of the Cottage Core girlies that I follow on YouTube are also book girlies. So, overlap there. And they all talk about how much they love Beatrix Potter. So I thought I'd buy like a secondhand edition, which this is a pretty good secondhand edition, not gonna hold you, of The Complete Adventures, and would read that. But yeah, those are the books that I added. I'll give you another update once I read more, I guess, later. Hello again. I just finished my last final, so my brain's a little brain dead right now. A little frazzled, very tired. But I wanted to do an update to the reading log because I'm not just reading physical books, I'm also reading web novels. And I wanted to include the web novel that I'm currently reading. And that web novel is called Spring Trees and Sunset Clouds. So it's a deme, which is a Chinese boy's love. Honestly, so far I'm really enjoying it. It's about this transmigrator who, after dying in a fire, was transmigrated into this ancient China esque type world where he is transmigrated into the body of like a toddler prince with his little brother. He does all this palace intrigue and stuff to get his brother to be king because that's where he feels his brother would be safest, as he devotes his entire life to this boy, only for him to end up imprisoned and tortured by his brother and thrown into the ravine. Um, Sorry about the fire alarm. I put in a work order for it. Will they get to me? I have no idea. But it's a work order is in for it. Because I'm not allowed to touch it. So, not that I could anyways on the ceiling. But yeah. Anyway, back to the story. So he's betrayed by his brother and he ends up floating to this weird town in this kingdom that he should have heard of before, but he hasn't, and he's just been living peacefully there ever since. Um, I like it so far. It's not exciting, nor is it like daring. It really is just this traumatized, depressed dude trying to live his best life as he feels nothing because, you know, PTSD's a bitch. But I'm on chapter 21 out of 54. I managed to find a fully translated version online. Thank you, online peoples who decide to spend the time to translate novels so that we all can enjoy them. Um, so yeah. So that means I'm about halfway. I like how it's going personally. It isn't, if you're wanting like something exciting, this is not the web novel for you. But I don't need anything exciting. I'm just reading something while I try to calm down from Graceling because I'm getting too excited about Graceling, so I'm trying to read something to chill out. So yeah, that is the reading update. Again, sorry about the fire alarm. It's annoying me too, and nothing can get fixed around here in a timely manner because literally every time I have someone come in to check the fire alarm, it doesn't beep. Like, it'll be perfectly quiet for like hours if I'm having someone come in. But I leave it because they say, oh, it's fine, nothing's wrong with it, and then it does this beeping noise. 2 more weeks in this shit. I'm in this room for 2 more weeks. I just have to go through 2 more weeks. That is it. But that is the end of the reading update. Later. Okay, so I'm going on a trip. So these are the books from my reading list that I'm bringing with me. Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall and Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire Claudia story are an adaptation by Ashley Marie Witter. Yeah. Hi guys, I thought I'd do an update for my reading vlog now because why not? I haven't read any more of my physical books because I've been reading web novels, denmes to be more specific. The ones that I've finished and or there are no more chapters for me to read until later. Sans one. One is just because I got really annoyed with one of the characters and needed a break from it. But the other three are like I finished it or I finished all the available translated chapters. The first one is verifying. 1 second. um, cool. Not that one. Okay. One is called A Kiss from Hell. Um, it's an ABO fic, not fic. It's an ABO story, like it's a web novel, not a fan fiction. Sorry, it's an ABO where this is a dead dove. Don't eat. I'm not gonna hold you. This one's a dead dove. Not gonna hold you. Basically, the idea is this dude gets taken in by his dad after his mom dies, and his dad is like uber rich. His dad also has a family attached to him. So he comes and joins with his stepbrother and stepmom, who are both very accepting of him, which is very nice. A lot less nice is that the reason why the younger brother is upset, younger brother is so accepting is because he has this weird possessive thing going on with his brother. And I'm sure you know where this is going with it being an ABO fic. Not fic, web novel, an ABO web novel. So I'm gonna leave it right there. The next one, this one I finished, and this one I thought was super fucking good. So I recommend it. It's a transmigrate fic. Okay, it's called My Junior Still Hasn't Killed Me. It's about this dude who like gets transmigrated. He doesn't die. He gets transmigrated by a system, and the system is like, "Hi, so you finished reading this web novel, and you said if that the villain had someone with him to lead him down the right path, he probably wouldn't have been as evil because the villain was like a tragic story." And so the system is like, so we're going to choose you as the person who made that comment to be that person. We'll send you back to your regular world after you've finished this whole transmigration thing. And we'll send you back to this exact moment. So you're not going to be missing or anything. So it's fine. Just please complete this task and then we'll send you back. And he's like, whatever, I guess. I have no choice. That send me off, I guess. And he spends this time basically trying to fix this villain who's already blackened. Like he's a black belly bastard already. Like it's no hope for him. And of course, romance ensues because this is a BL. And what else did you think was gonna happen? And in the end, he decides to like, spoiler alert, but he decides to stay in the world that he was transmigrated into because, you know, romance. So he does that. It's pretty good. And the extra fics are also, the extra chapters. The extra chapters are also really good. Can you tell that I'm like, okay, so excuse me using fic a lot. I'm going from heavy fan fiction into web novels. Web novels are kind of new for me. So my brain is like, oh, it's a fiction. It is fiction, but it's not fanfic. So don't say fic. Say web novel. Say what it is. Anyway, there's that one. um, the next one is taking this time loading. Next one is called Yandere. No, it's called The Pervert and the Yandere. It's just shortened the Yandere on the website. It's called The Pervert and the Yandere, where this dude is like obsessed with this man. Like obsessed. Like I'm telling you, he saw him once in a supermarket and then proceeded to stalk him for like years. Like I'm saying he sold his house, got one of his dude's neighbors to move and move into there. Type levels of fucking crazy obsessed. And then the love interest, the dude he's obsessed with, is a yandere. And he like murks anyone who doesn't stay in love with him, which is hard to do when he becomes highly controlling and like crazy in relationships. You know, yandere. And they're just like a match made in hell, and we love it. And I mean that in a loving way, because they are like the worst for each other because they, you know, feed into each other's like illnesses. But they're like the perfect match. Like no one else gets harmed when they are together except one girl, but like She should have caught the hints. And so that's that one. And then the last one is Peerless Immortal Surrounded by Demonic Disciples. I'm on chapter 52 of that one, and that's the one I took a break from because I got irritated with one of the characters. The character I got irritated with is called Chang Yi, Tang Ye. Not quite sure how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. I tried my best. Put it through the translator and everything. Still can't get it. But and he's like the like black bellied white lotus type, like hyper manipulative, pretends to be the sweetest little bean, and is actually an evil bastard. Like he's that one, and he's like getting on my nerves. Like at first I didn't mind him. I love a good sweet face manipulator. But like now he's starting to get irritated, especially since I have a favorite of the three, with spoilers, and that's what that means. Take that as you will. But I have a favorite of the three, and it's Huan. I'm very bad at pronouncing things, I'm sorry. But I have a favorite, and it's not him. And he just irritated me the most because you're just taking time away from my favorite. Go away. Anyway, this one is about an immortal who's actually a transmigrator who got transmigrated into this world thousands of years ago. And they said, you have two options. Either you raise 3 disciples and they successfully become like well-rounded, good, powerful people, or you reach ascension. And those are your two options to go home. This is a cultivator fic web novel, a cultivator web novel. So like, and those were his. So like his two options were either ascend or like raise 3 disciples, but we get to choose who your disciples are. And so he's just been working towards ascension, and it's been like thousands of years in this world at this point. Like he can only kind of remember his original world, but his goal is still to go back home. But I think at this stage, he doesn't remember what home is like. So, like, not like he remembers it in the same way you remember a show that you watch, not so much as something that he lived in as much anymore, which, tells me he's not going back because you've been in this world for thousands of years. Why are you returning to a world you barely remember? You are not going to assimilate well. You're not. But yeah. So he was working towards ascension but still looking out for potential disciples, because he's like, it's easier to just get disciples than it is to ascend. He's gotten really fucking far though, so give props where props are due. He's gotten really far on the road to ascension. Like he is well renowned. Like people are begging to be his disciple, but of course the system is like, no, not that one, not that one either. Try again next year, type shit, until they finally like approves of one, and it's a what's it called? Heavenly demon body, which I'm not quite sure what that means. I think it means he has heavenly demon blood. I'm not sure. I'm learning as I go through more of these cultivation web novels. Learning as I go instead of just doing the smart thing and Googling it. But yeah. So that's his first disciple, which he thinks is like in the beginning. I'm like past the point where they blow their cover, but like he's like, oh, he's just a well-rounded, well-meaning individual. He is just the best. He was not. He was not. His next one is someone who he thought was just like victimized by Ghost, but no, he's like the head honcho of the motherfuckers. And then the last one he thought was victimized by, what are they called again? Beast? Something like that. And he's not, he's the head honcho. So basically, his 3 demonic disciples are all like high ranking demonic beings. And I'm past the point where he finds out about this. And while the first two disciples, the ghost dude and the heavenly demon, have caught the hint and is like chilling out and just trying not to fuck up again, the third one is just still trying to be on his manipulation bullshit, and it's getting on my nerves. So I need a break, which is why I'm reading a bunch of others. I'll talk about those next time I do an update or another reading vlog altogether. I'm not quite sure yet. But yeah. That's what I've been reading. So I should really get back to reading the books that I brought with me, the physical books that I've brought with me. I also bought some art books that I'll go through on here at some point. Not all the pages, obviously, go by the official art books, but I'll show you some of my favorite pieces from them. But yeah, that's the reading vlog section thingy-majiggy from, the month I'll be at my grandma's house. I don't think I'm gonna do it all in like one anymore. Originally, I was gonna have all of this, like the whole month, be one vlog, but I feel like that would be like several hours long, and I can watch several hours long videos, but I feel like editing a several hour long video is not something I want to do. So I'm not going to. So I think the last section will be, if not this one, then the next one. Then I'll just like cut it off and like do part 2 and whatever and stuff like that. Yeah. The next thing on my list to finish reading in terms of physical books is the Graceling. It's the finished Graceling, which has its own vlog altogether. So yeah, that's it. Part of me feels like I should redo this section, but this is also not to be a cool YouTuber, but just a hobby of mine, so I do not want to do all that work, so I'm not going to. Later. Decided to throw on an add-on before work because why not? I did finish one of the books from the physical books. I finished one of the physical books from my reading list that I wanted to do while I was here at my grandma's. And that is the adaptation of Claudia's story for Interview with the Vampire. It was as good as I remembered it being, because this is a book that I've read before. It's actually something I took from the library that I ended up never returning, and instead just bought the book off the library because the late fees were so high, it was cheaper to just buy the book outright by the time I got to a place where I could return it back in high school. So this is why you go to your local libraries, so that you can easily access the library to give things back. Yeah. But so that's the only one I finished, and of course I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it the first time I read it. The art style is gorgeous, and Claudia is the only character I really, really care about in Interview with a Vampire. Like, I care about Lewis and Lestat, but almost as much as you care about your coworker's drama. It's interesting, it's something to listen to while you're doing something else. It's like, ooh, the tea. But like, who I really cared about in that story was Claudia. So very happy there was someone else who agreed with me that she was the best person and made the adaptation. So yeah, I greatly enjoyed this version of Claudia, because some versions that I've seen online with adaptations of this book is leaning more so into the immature childish side of Claudia, with her being a permanent child. But I like that this adaptation leaned heavier into the adult in a child's body. Like, she grew. Even if her body didn't grow and her temperament didn't grow, her mind did. Like, even if she didn't have the emotional regulate. No, she did actually. she was basically an adult in a child's body. She had child impulses, but was very much an adult in a child's body. And I very do love that interpretation, because you were alive for how many hundreds of years? Even if in the lore you won't be able to developmentally pass the point of which you were turned, and she was turned when she was a little kid, so she's permanently there. Mentally, you still change, point blank period. But so very much enjoyed this version of Claudia. I have to say it is my favorite and has been for a long time. So yeah. I'm gonna go to work now, so I'm not late. Later. Also, thank you for watching. This is the official end of this video. I'm just gonna have a part, like a separate parts, like break it up into parts, because something about having a several hour long video is just not what I'm trying to do, which I said before in the previous clip. So yeah, thanks.